Yeah, why was Marvel bigger?
Because it is.
Back at my fandom since I was tiny, the biggest impact I think for me has been Batman. When people really know comics, they know what DC's bringing to the table.
I can
Yeah,
see how
Batman
they
and
can defend,
Superman.
Like,
That's kind of
their
it.
video
Those
games
are like
and
their
comics,
spokesmen.
But I don't know how they're going to back up the movies.
Marvel doesn't have a spokesman. It's Marvel.
Aren't that great? Ultimately, you see a very cookie-cutter pattern of how Marvel makes their films versus DC, which is super gritty, super dark.
I will die on a hill of really apologizing and loving some of these new movies more.
Super gritty, super dark, but they all suck though. So it's like, who cares?
Where the other side's coming from. How do they connect with someone like Superman, who to me has the personality of a brick?
Exactly. I mean, I don't know if I would say personality of a brick. He's a little bit more complex than that, but he's still boring.
University, I studied art history as well. The more I think about it, those things tie in a lot for the reason why I love comics so much.
Hey, I'm Will. I'm a lifelong, I would say comic book fan, but really DC Homer, as my friend would call me. Apologist, some would say, to a certain degree.
So is that what this is? One side's completely Marvel, the other side's completely DC?
Guy. I'm
Okay,
actually trying
well,
to
they're
get
just
into
kind of
voice
sitting there, I
acting,
guess.
voiceover. Like watching all these animated shows and whatnot, it's really inspiring.
These
to see
Asian
all these characters come to life through voice and whatnot. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Hi, I'm Sarah. Marvel's pretty much always been like my favorite genre of movies. I love watching all the movies. I really love cinematography and I love how they're always played out. So yeah, I'm a Marvel fan.
Okay, so she's only a Marvel fan because of the movies,
I
though.
bought a 3D printer and started printing a bunch of props for it. So I've got a 4-foot Stormbreaker sitting in my room, not doing anything.
I'm Chris. I'm a Marvel fan. I wish I could say super fan. Just within the recent years, I've been getting like deeper into it. So there's some things I may not know about. But I'm cultured around the area, so I can get around.
This is not. I'm bothered by this already. The Marvel fans aren't like good representatives. Where the fuck did they find these people from? These are only fans who are fans from the movies. What about the actual fans who are fans from the comic books and shit? Like, what is this? DC's gonna have to
I don't know.
Bro, these are DC fans who actually like the comic books and shit. Like, at least they come from that background to the movie background, which isn't much of a background, but they have that background all the same.
What you talking about? Batman Forever?
What? That means nothing. I just see that the Marvel people aren't gonna have much of a strong argument. It's just like, okay, Cinemax, but then DC's like, okay, but you don't even read the comic book.
As the Riddler? Come on.
Marvel is only considered better because of the movies. Walk forward if you agree.
I see what they're doing there.
Yeah, it's still like the other thing that they do. They're just
I get it.
Unless they're comic book fanatics, I don't hear anybody talking about the comics, let alone the shows, even the games or anything. I only hear the movies.
Thank you for being the only one here, because it is challenging, I think, right now to be a DC fan because of that feeling.
Yes.
Socially, the conversation is Marvel. So extremely that every time DC puts out a movie, it's like almost expected that you're supposed to right. Because it's not as good. They did it wrong. Now, have they stumbled along the way? Tons of times. But I get this feeling that no one's entering into seeing a DC movie to just be vulnerable and experience what they're being given.
And it's recency bias, right? Because Christopher Reeve with Superman launched, but then you also think about the Batmans with Michael Keaton, right, and Jack Nicholson, and then even Batman Forever with Val Kilmer. I mean, not so much after that, but there was no Marvel.
No, you kept going after that, and it was all bad.
Into the background when people talk about DC movies, it's like those were great films.
I mean, we don't have the Marvel Cinematic Universe, in my opinion, without Batman Begins.
Alright, disagreeers, come forward.
You don't have it at all. Even with that Batman Begins, it's still no cinematic universe. What are we talking about?
Argue that simply because of the MCU, more people care. It used to be that to be a nerd back, even in the 90s, because I love Spider-Man, X-Men, all that stuff from the 90s. Doing cosplay, when I was doing cosplay, people yelling at me, saying stupid, dressing up in movies, all kinds of stuff. Now cosplayers get millions of followers on Instagram. The MCU actually made nerds cool.
Yeah.
And so when I think of better, I think like, kind of to your point, detracts from all the like suffering of the nerds who got kicked and shoved in their closets. Yeah.
To get here.
So now that the MCU exists, I'm like, oh, now you want to say it's cool. Okay, fine, yeah.
I do believe some of the comics do better than some of the Marvel stuff that is out, like with all the Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man were not good. Like I grew up watching those and I was not a huge fan.
Wait, the 90s?
No. Yeah, Toby.
Oh, okay, I was about to say. You good?
What?
He's worse than Andrew Garfield.
I see those movies as like corny perfection. It's like
I mean, he
absolutely.
wasn't the best, but he's not the worst one.
They weren't bad.
He didn't give me that representation. I'm an
One of the bad ones was
awkward
Spider-Man
teen. It was
3.
like a very just dark and like
Yeah.
brooding. Like
Second
more
one?
DC.
Probably the best one.
He just was very not awkward. How I wanted to see Peter Parker.
You're telling me that Spider-Man 3 dance wasn't awkward to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your generation, especially now, you can see that you guys don't really like the dark, gritty, because right now,
Everyone
everything that's going on
everyone
right
just
now,
wants happy
yeah,
stories.
everything that's going on right now, you don't want to see even darker.
I want depression personified.
Yeah, but it's a cool, yeah, exactly.
I think DC.
You said depression personified?
What they already see in humanity. They're like, wow, are our cities actually like this? Like, is this actually happening? I feel like people kind of get scared and they're like, yeah, I don't want to deal with that.
Our characters are more relatable.
This is absolute facts.
Yeah.
This is absolute facts.
Just the
No
fact
one
that
could be more
especially
relatable in
when
this
it comes to
situation than
just
Peter Parker.
Look at like these different heroes. Like I was like, I'm not built like no Captain America, but I can relate to him in the heart. It's what
Yeah.
matters.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like just seeing every character. I'm like, oh, that's me. Oh, wait, that could be me.
Because ain't nobody saying I'm related to Batman because my parents died. Nobody
No,
doing that.
fuck no.
Nobody doing
Nobody
that.
doing that.
I'm just like, let me just run
Like,
up
you
here.
do something like that, you turn to a life of crime for sure.
It's so relatable as a teenager.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Seeing another teenager.
He's the most
Get all
relatable.
these superpowers, and he's like, I'm just a kid. Like, I'm just trying to go to school. Like, I need a break.
It's kind of a combination between the comics, the TV shows, the MCU in total. When you humanize a character first and then introduce their abilities, you not only give the audience time to relate to them and attach themselves to the character, but you give them an opportunity to see them superpower, amazingness. Things like that, just make Marvel just a bit more relatable to me.
There is an element of DC that I get, that they are unrelatable. Superman really is the most obvious, because he's overpowered from
Yeah.
the planet.
As fuck.
These things, but at the same time, at the core of all that is this unbreakable goodness.
Like Superman, one of the things I always found really endearing is he comes from a different planet. He has unlimited power, but at the same time, once he met Mom and Pa Kent, he fell in love with like the family and being a high schooler and learning how to acclimate. And so, at the end of the day, they are dealing with the same human and basic problems and conflicts that we have.
I think that's where Zach really tried to tie it all in. It's with Batman vs Superman. DC fans hated. They were not about it, and it's just like
No, it was not good.
Everyone hated it. Exactly. People were not a fan of it, but it's just like he tried to humanize his characters, and that's
Did we
that
just say
was
something
really
about that?
an important step to take, because with Superman and Batman, they were never shown to have a breaking point or be they showed up as the villains.
Fallible too, yeah.
But also going back to representation, relatability, like Asian. Not many Asian superheroes, but with Shang Tsung and all these other characters, I would give.
You just say Shang Tsung, my
as long as
nigga?
it's not forced,
Right.
like shoved down.
No,
That's
what
what
is the name of
I
him?
really don't like. But
It didn't sound like he said Shang-Chi. It sounded like he said Shang
Tsung.
Tsung. No, fuck that. I want to hear that
And,
again.
with Shang Tsung and all these other
Shang
characters,
Tsung.
I give props to Marvel.
That's his name.
As long as it's not forced.
Shang-Chi?
Like, shoved down. That's
Whatever,
right.
Shang-Chi.
Exactly my point. That's why I'm like, nah, that's not right. Hold up.
Asian.
It's
Not many
Shang-Chi.
Asian superheroes, but with Shang Tsung and all these other characters, I would give props to Marvel.
Nigga, he did not say that right.
That's why he's a DC fan.
Bro, you just named a Mortal Kombat character. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Easy mistake? Maybe? I don't know. We'll let people decide.
Like shoved down people's. That's what I really don't like. But as long as it's not shoved down people's throats, and like you're gonna have to digest this.
Yeah.
And I'm all for it.
When you guys did bring up Peter Parker and Spider-Man with that, me being from New York, and so I was just like, I see him and I see me. At the time, I was like, oh, you know what? I want to go to this college too, and I want to go here, and I want to do that. And then like, you know what? Hopefully, do get bit by a spider on the way there. So I'm just like, okay, cool.
I
You
genuinely,
get
as
bit by a
a
spider,
kid,
but you gonna die.
when I felt like my own superhero backstory was like losing a parent at a young age, being kind of a caretaker to her, my mom, when I was 15, and still losing that person, it rewired in my brain many things, one of which was take care of other people and put yourself second, put everybody else
I was
first.
gonna say, be a villain.
To never show the crack in that it's actually crippling you trying to be perfect. Because I did always try to say, like, when you see me, you're gonna be like, how does he just fly through life? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought that was healthy, wasn't. And then once I realized that I actually could be vulnerable, I could be broken, and that being broken is more beautiful and it makes you more powerful, that sort of opened up the floodgates of finding those things in the DC characters. And I think the writers, especially now in comics, are going that route.
My fan community can be toxic.
Everybody needs to go up. Everybody needs to go up.
Bruh.
Everybody needs to go up. Because if I hear anything about Batman in prep time, I will fucking lose my shit.
It's something as simple as, you know, someone's title changing or someone becoming a new hero. You immediately get the people on Twitter just being like, I hate this person. I honestly feel really bad for Brie Larson because
I
she
don't. Fuck
got
her.
the brunt of it during that whole Captain Marvel phase. Personally,
She was trash.
I liked her. I think she's a great actress. I think
She's a great actress, but
I'm not
no.
a big fan of the character, but I was like, this is fun. I don't want to
Exactly. It's like when you dehumanize the actor and treat them as they're only that, that's not being a fan.
Yeah.
That's being an ass.
I remember when Black Panther came out, a lot of people refused to see it because they said it's a PC movie.
Exactly.
It's like there's so much vitriol in different corners. I like to believe it's not most people, but like the loudest voices on social media are like always
worst.
yeah, exactly.
Because those are the ones that get attention.
Right.
Yeah, even the Black Panther, anything like this is supposed to be a black Superman coming out, and people are gonna be
Yeah,
like,
I've
oh
heard
yeah,
that.
that's born of the political correctness. But there's been iterations of black
I really don't know
it's
how I feel
comic
about
books,
that
so why
either.
not?
Yeah, it's like it's not only limited.
I mean,
to
I don't think I
just
care.
White people. And
I just don't know how I feel about
And
it.
then with the whole Flash verse, I guess their Flash verse, Superman's black.
And like you
Something like
guys
that.
are
So it'd be like a different universe type deal. Then.
Yeah.
Okay, well then that's
But,
fine.
I mean,
What the
I've
fuck are
never
they
been,
tripping
like,
over?
directly targeted at, but I definitely do get the sense of like, oh, you're female, you don't know what you're talking about. You have no idea. Oh, you're younger, you have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, but you don't though.
I really probably could have came with everybody. I think the only reason why I didn't was because it was prefaced by saying my community. I'm not on Twitter, I'm not on Instagram, and so I'm ignorant to it, I guess is what it is. I had a weird situation. I would be, I guess, more in the jock category growing up in the sense of that was more my reputation, I suppose. But anyone who knew me and any of my friends came over to my house, like when I started dating, like in high school, and the girls came over to my house, I had action figures everywhere. You know, so the jig was up, you know what I mean? Like, you know, this is really who I am and what I'm really about, and I always found I got a great reaction from that. I think if people buy too much into the toxic nature of Marvel versus DC or whatever the movie is and their gripes on it, they're losing a chance to focus on the positive of the character and why they love it.
My side would win
Oh,
in a
God.
fight.
Oh God!
What you think? What you think? How you think it's gonna look?
They better all walk up.
Everybody?
Everybody needs to walk up and defend their fucking self.
Oh man, honestly, dude.
Because it's like, oh, Captain America be such and such, but Batman, blah 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 blah.
Honestly,
He has
dude.
better tech than Iron Man, blah blah blah
I
blah
am
blah.
Marvel all the way, but I think I'm gonna have to go with DC, dog. I think DC will wail on majority of the Marvel people. Like, no cap. I'm thinking like between like regular people
But no, that's what
people
I'm saying.
of the Justice League and shit like that, and like the big bad villains that they have to face versus the ones
No,
that Marvel has to
with this
face.
question, are we just talking Avengers and Justice League, or are we talking actual all
Like-
Marvel, all DC? That's the thing.
That's a big, but that's
That's
a
big.
That's a big scope.
It's big.
I don't know. That's tough. Okay. Just for the sake of argument, let's go Justice League versus the Avengers.
Oh, I'm going
Justice League
I'm going Justice
automatically, just because of Superman alone, if nothing else. No one on the Avengers matches up to Superman,
the only problem with
except
that
for
is-
maybe Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel. That's kind of probably it. Maybe.
Maybe.
That's a huge maybe.
And maybe the Hulk.
I don't even know about that because he's big as fuck.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe.
I don't know. Okay, because let's break it down. So you got Superman, But if we take away Superman, who else we got? We got Batman. That's
Batman,
dangerous
Wonder
enough.
Woman, Flash.
And we're talking about regular Batman, like on the fly, not Batman with prep time, bitch. Because people would be doing that, like Batman could do blah, 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 blah. Shut the fuck up.
But he has a plan for everything.
Yeah, he has a plan for everything. When he has a plan for things that he expects, you think he had a plan for Bane when he first fought him? No, he got his fucking back broke. But afterwards, he had a plan for him, and it never happened again. You know what I'm saying?
Back brace. Back brace.
Like,
Get it?
Yes.
Back brace.
Yes. Yeah. Let's do it. But yeah, no, Batman with prep time, obviously he would do more damage than anything else because he would obviously be prepared for it. But then again, anybody could do more damage if they were prepared for it.
But are we talking original Avengers versus original Justice League?
Yes. Well, like, just for the sake of example, yes. So, Batman without prep time, that's why I'm saying it. Because people be like, if you had blah, 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 no. If it was just like on the spot, they just got beamed into an arena and had to face off, Batman's looking around, probably analyzing a few things, but I don't think he has everything in his clip ready for everybody on the Avengers.
Green Arrow versus Hawkeye.
It's hard to say because they're both kind of even.
They both equal.
I know when like tooth came to nail though, like Hawkeye used his fingernails as arrow tips. As a projectile, he pulled off his fingernail and used that shit.
But Green Arrow's a dick.
They both are. You think Clint is nice?
Well, I'm not saying nice, but
no, Clint is an asshole, like a huge asshole. They just made him nice for the sake of the movie.
Well, yeah.
And some of the Avengers shows, but nah,
because look who he became.
Ronin? Yeah. A whole ass assassin with a sword. He tried to take over Wakanda on a couple of occasions. Clint.
Yeah.
Tried to challenge T'Challa on several occasions to take over Wakanda. Yeah, no, I don't know. They're both kind of even to me. They're both athletic as hell. Okay, they both have good marksmanship because that's kind of like their thing.
Okay, then who's
they both got trick arrows, huh?
Who's fighting Wonder Woman?
No one.
She's just there.
She's just there. Woo! Because I'm thinking like, because everybody else, that's what I'm saying. Like you got a demigod, you got a literal man who is basically a god, a detective who's smart as hell, the best tactician, best hand-to-hand combatant on the planet, a man who's a speedster and perceives time at a different, complete pace than everybody else. A marksman.
The Avengers doesn't have a speedster. Huh?
They do not. They don't. The only speedster that's around is Quicksilver, and
but
we already know.
Yet.
He's not even in the Avenger. Well, he was an Avenger at some point,
but he's not even there yet.
No, exactly.
God.
Yeah, Justice League's taking that.
Does Cyborg count?
No, he should count with the Teen Titans initially because he didn't become a Justice League member until like way later. They just do it backwards in this shit. Yeah. Martian Manhunter is basically Superman, but like allergic to fire.
Pretty much. Well, Shapeshifter too.
Also that. Yeah. So who's gonna face that?
Iron Man. I don't know.
Exactly. Fucking nobody.
Groot.
He's not even an Avenger. He's a Guardian. Who else is on the Justice League? I miss.
Because I mean, technically the original
Aquaman?
six. The original six.
Oh,
Batman,
Aquaman.
Wonder Woman, Flash, Superman, Aquaman, and Martian Manhunter.
Mm-hmm.
Original six.
Yeah, and Aquaman was the other one I just forgot to add in there. He's also a problem.
Aquaman's a beast, bro. Very underrated.
Underrated because everybody just knows him for the fish talking thing, and that's
way before this Dark DC shit coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Very underrated. Because Aquaman was whooping ass.
Well, I mean, nobody sees him as a threat because everybody assumes that he's
like all he
not...
thought was doing
Yeah, that was it.
But
like
no.
I can control fish. No. He controls the sea. He controls 70% of the planet.
He can make lightning.
With or with? No, it's with the trident.
Yes. Come on, okay.
He has like some like low level of magic because of
he's a magic user.
He can control water, waves and shit, create tidal
Super
waves.
strong. He damn near beat up.
He's Atlantean, so his skin is dense as fuck.
That's
You're
what
not
I'm
just gonna shoot him with a bullet or stab him with a sword.
No, actually, it's gonna break.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So who's on the Avengers gonna take that shit? Hulk, maybe
Maybe that's what I'm saying.
maybe
Hulk
because
can be fighting most of them.
both Hulk can at least breathe underwater or some shit.
Hulk's gonna be fighting Superman, Aquaman,
Yeah,
and shit.
yeah,
somewhere.
no, yeah,
So,
no.
yeah.
DC's taking that one. Sorry.
So let us know what you guys
sorry.
think about this shit.
DC's taking that. I'm sorry, you guys. Unless you bring in outside forces, Marvel's not doing that. They got like what Sentry. That's kind of it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
That's kinda it,
but who
though.
are the original Avengers?
We just said them.
Did we?
Yeah. Iron Man, Captain America, Giant Man / Ant-Man,
That's
Wasp,
right. He was on there.
Wasp, Thor, and Hulk. Well, Hulk.
Let's not do that.
Well, Hulk wasn't the original
I saw
because
him
they
on
got
Hulk.
together because of the Hulk to begin with.
We can spell that right.
That's who can take Wonder Woman. Thor. I didn't even think about that. There you go. Wonder Woman and Thor can fight.
Iron Man, Ant-Man, apparently the Hulk,
Oh, so he wasn't there. Okay.
Thor, and the Wasp were the original. Discovered trapped in the ice. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like this is wrong.
With that picture.
The first appearance of Avengers 1 September and then blah, blah, blah. So yeah, they're saying it was Iron Man, Ant-Man, Hulk, and Thor and Wasp who revived Captain America the first time.
Yep.
So that's your original Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're getting murked.
The strongest ones there is Hulk and Thor.
Thor,
That's it. Iron Man is like a challenge, but that's like a Batman Iron Man fight though. So, yeah,
So who has the better gadgets?
Iron Man obviously.
That's the Iron Man has a better gadget.
Iron Man has
but
more
Batman's
gadgets because he's literally got like all kinds of shit in his
plasma
stuff.
beams and
Yeah, Hulk just got. I mean, Hulk. Batman just got a utility belt. He don't got shit
see that
else.
shit now. Hulk swing. I'm sorry.
That would be ridiculous. But anyway,
Alright, go back to
yeah.
it.
Go for it. Yeah. Wow, they know too. They know. It's good.
Yeah,
They know what's
y'all
good.
better not even attempt
I
to
think
go out
that's
there.
why the conversation is Marvel connects more with like the real person because DC does feel like titans. You know what I mean? And to me, comic books are American mythology. I heard that somewhere in a documentary, and it's true. You know, we don't have like an American mythos outside of like Paul Bunyan and like some silly stuff. It's superheroes is really what it is. And Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, these like, you know, Atlas holding the world on their shoulders figures. It's like, it's always them. Batman's like plan to defeat everyone is just, I'm Batman.
Yeah.
And everyone on Earth goes, he's right.
Yeah, get out of the way.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're gonna get down to the brass of it, you know, a pissed off Superman, good luck. Someone taking out the big dog, you know.
I always see these videos on YouTube, like, oh yeah, Superman versus Hulk, or Batman versus Iron Man. And it's like, it's all made up. So people have their own.
And listen, until Superman fights Goku, we know that's the real.
All delusional.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't even a question. Justice League is way overpowered. Like, way overpowered. Right.
I would just say their brutality is a lot more severe compared to Marvel characters.
Yeah,
That was
the majority of them
only
will
thing
kill.
I was saying the MCU is a little more light and
That's
fluffy,
the thing.
so
Aquaman
you
will
have
murder niggas
humanistic
real quick.
The only people who have a conscience to not kill is just Superman and Batman.
Unfortunately.
But they will mangle your ass.
Question
If Batman didn't have that moral,
one
he's
of- in one
If
person-
Superman didn't have that moral, he's murking the planet, he's an issue.
You know, DC fans as
How do you stop a person that's bulletproof, nigga?
Always wins.
What is that argument?
Thank you.
Because he's just a dude.
I've never made that argument because honestly, the argument is usually he's already had the kryptonite.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's always the twist. Is
So you
everyone's
just
like,
assume he's already figured it
Batman's
out.
prepared
Batman
for
has
every
a plan for
like
the unknown,
his
like,
mind
he has
is
a plan
like
for a
a
plan,
calculated
like-
17 million outcomes.
Yeah.
Like if
It's
they
Doctor Strange essentially.
Is that
Yeah, that's it right there.
Yeah,
He-
like if they were together in a movie, Doctor Strange was like, I saw these outcomes, he'd be like, yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
And as a reader too, not just a viewer, I do get bored of that. You know what I mean? Because then there's almost no stakes. Just like Batman knew all along. I was like, oh cool, so it didn't even matter, you know?
What I liked about Infinity War and the Snyder Cut was the level of dread you felt for the characters and
Yes.
what they were having to go
There were
through
high
to get
stakes.
their goal.
Niggas
Their goals
died.
not ultimately met, especially with Infinity. I got so emotional at Infinity War, and my head literally hurt after watching that. Having the character be vulnerable, like not having them at their peak, is very important for the audience to be able to relate and to be able to feel for the characters.
Martin Scorsese said Marvel movies are not cinema.
Yeah, fuck Martin Scorsese for saying that.
Now step forward if you disagree.
Oh, but cinema for sure.
Yeah, but because it's not like an
Well,
actual
what does he know
like,
about making movies?
like they're not award winning, so I guess they're not cinema. That was his argument, I
Not
guess.
just the numbers, and
Shut
not
the
just
fuck
the
up.
worldwide success, but also the stories and the emotions and the ebb and flow of the storytelling. I think they're definitely not only cinematic, but some of the best examples of art that a worldwide audience of different ages and a lot of different people could come together and watch and enjoy. Where maybe sometimes more boutique or arty film might not have that same.
I think the second you try to put ground rules on what art is, you fundamentally don't understand. You're missing the point of art.
Absolutely. Like, how do you define cinema?
Right.
You can't.
Right.
There's no, cookie cutter definition of, oh, okay, this movie is cinema, but like Shrek 2 is not. Like, it's
High cinema.
high cinema. But it's that type of thing where if you
Was Shrek was fire,
decide
though?
that things have limits.
The second one,
you're
absolutely, it's the best
not
one.
only limiting the audience, but
I
you're
need a
limiting creative
hero.
freedom. If someone comes along and says, oh, that's not cinema, what are you telling the future filmmakers? That what they want to do is not considered cinema? You're immediately, trashing what these new people want to do.
It brings people together.
Yeah, I thought that was a trash statement when he said that. He was a trash individual for saying that.
I mean, me and my dad watch it together. Me and my mom, me and my friends, and we're all different ages. That's like the point of cinema. So.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
Oh man, I'm kind of sad it's over. I want more.
That wasn't that bad.
It was legit.
Yeah.
All right, well, shit. Let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think as far as like our arguments and
Marvel
our
versus
thoughts and
DC
stuff like that.
situations be going on here.
Respect to all those who love Marvel. Respect to all those who love DC.
Yeah.
I prefer Marvel, but I respect the hell out of DC, except for DCEU. There's like a hand-picked cherry few that I can kind of like go through in DCEU that I actually like and entertained by it, but the rest of them to me are trash. But that's just, my personal opinion on that. But other than that, I still love DC. DC still makes better.
Good stuff.
Yeah, they still make better animated movies. Their comics are still flame. Their character is unmatched, without a doubt. Like, if you even at least take away the idea of Superman and Batman, take out the two spokesmen for DC and just throw them out real quick, there's still a plethora of people in DC to choose from that can still do a lot of damage and are still known to be very dangerous, or even copyable for that matter. Hell, think about Deathstroke. If we didn't have a Deathstroke, we probably wouldn't have a Wade Wilson, which means we would have no Deadpool. They're literally the same character. Just one's crazy and the other is just militant.
Oh, so one's crazy, one's just fucking crazy.
I don't know if Deathstroke's crazy. He's just a dude that went through a lot of shit. I don't call him crazy for that. He's just the guy who got experimented on, but kind of like, not really though. But kind of. I don't know. It's weird. But I don't know. Like I said, me personally, I respect DC. I just hate their fans. Their fans are toxic as fuck. Like, that's when that shit came up in the question. Yeah, y'all better go up there because you absolutely are. That whole Batman prep time bullshit. That whole Superman can beat anybody thing. The whole Flash can rewind time and change timelines and multiverses and all that shit, bro. That is so tiring. That is so tiring to hear.
That's how the Flash sucks now.
The Flash got buffed over time.
Dude, like,
before he was just a guy who moved at super speed.
Like after season 2, I was like, I'm done with this shit, bro.
Oh, you're talking about that show?
Yeah.
Oh no, I meant the actual Flash.
Well, the actual
Yeah.
Flash, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Except for the Ezra Flash. I didn't like the Ezra Flash. I don't like the way they made him run and stuff like that. That was weird. Yeah, like he's like flail running. Like that shit was weird. It looked weird. I didn't like that. But what the fuck ever, I guess. But yeah. Anything? Woo. So with that being said, like the video, please. And until next time, we'll be here telling it like it is.